Hey, I'm Dustin Guthrie, a local Charleston realtor, and today we're walking through one of my renovation projects, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to make your life a lot easier once you have moved in. If you're renovating a bathroom, kitchen, laundry room, or you're building a new house, this might be the simplest thing you can do that pays off for years. Just take photos behind your walls before drywall goes up. It takes 2 minutes. It can save you a ton of time, money, and stress later. So let's talk about why. Most renovation headaches happen when you don't know what's hidden. So a few common situations we can talk about here. So you have a small leak. You're trying to figure out which wall has the water lines in it. Or you want to add, say, floating shelves, a towel rack, cabinets, and you're trying to guess where your studs are. Maybe you're mounting a new TV in the living room or hanging a heavy piece of art. You're not sure what place on the wall is safe. Maybe you're troubleshooting electrical outlets, switches, lighting, and you want to know how things were run. Or you're dealing with anything gas related and you need a reference. Well, you can look back at those photos, and that way you're not guessing. You're actually checking and looking at the facts. So here's exactly what I recommend capturing. So you want to get wide shots at each of the walls. Stand back and make sure you can get the whole cavity in one photo. Then you want to go and take close-ups. Make sure you get any of the plumbing, supply lines, drains, shutoff valves, vents, electrical outlets, switch runs, junction boxes, fan wiring. You also want to make note of the stud locations, blocking, bracing, if you have cabinets, where your shelving may go, and also, especially like in the kitchen, any gas lines. So make sure that you take these photos, you take plenty of them. More is always better than less, and you take multiple pictures from different angles and do it with good lighting as well. So as you can tell in the project I'm in right now, the electrical is actually off, but what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've opened up the door, I've opened up the windows to make sure that we have good lighting in here. Now, these photos are only helpful if you can find them later. So make sure to create an album in your phone and label it very specifically, like behind the walls. Then make little sub-albums or labels like kitchen, primary bath, laundry, garage, etc. And if you want to level up, email them to yourself and store them in like Google Photos or a Google Drive or an iCloud, and name it specifically to the project itself with the date. Here's another next level move that people rarely do. Bring a measuring tape. The reason being is you can pick a reference point, like a corner, a window, a doorway, and you can take a photo where you're noting, say, this stud is 16 inches from the corner, or this water line, it runs about 10 inches above the subfloor here. So take that tape measure, hold it in the shot. That way later when you are, say, drilling or you're putting up that photo, you actually have like a real-time map and measurements with it as well. So you have that precision when you need it the most. Now remember, this isn't only for emergencies, it helps with upgrades too. So installing shelves, changing out your light fixtures, adding a shower niche or a grab bar, mounting the TV in your primary bedroom, heavy mirrors, any type of future remodeling. And if you ever sell, having a nice clean archive of what was done, especially when the walls were open, it can build trust and answer questions fast. So here are a few common mistakes to avoid. So only taking one photo, and maybe it's a wide angle and not getting those close-ups. Forgetting things like looking up into the ceiling, capturing where your fans are, your recessed lighting, not saving these photos in a central place that you can access easily, and then not actually labeling them with enough information that helps you sort through them quickly. So these types of things you really don't appreciate until you need it, but you really want to be detailed and take your time the first go around. Another thing I'll mention here as well is that talking with your contractor or your builder when you're doing the renovation And finding out what that timeline looks like is going to be really important for you to plan for this and for these photos. So if the contractor is telling you, we are finished our framing and we're going to be doing, say, insulation next week, well, you need to get those photos done within that time frame so that you're not behind schedule and they come and do the insulation before you get the photos. Because once the insulation is in, it's going to be really difficult to find some of those details that you're looking for, like your electrical, your plumbing, because it will now be behind some of that new insulation that's going in. So to wrap this all up, if you're renovating or you're in the midst of a new build, before the drywall goes up, you want to take a few minutes and photograph everything. Save it in one centralized location where it's labeled with great descriptions. Your future self will be very grateful. So if you want my quick before you close the walls checklist, just comment checklist below. I'll drop it in the replies. And if you're doing a renovation here in the Charleston area, I'd love to come and see it myself. Always interested in checking out new projects in the area. So reach out to me anytime. My contact information is on this page, and I'll see you guys soon.